Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Voorhees Township Committee meeting of December 30, 2019. Please rise and join me in the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Friedman?
Here.
Mr. Platt? Here. Mr. Rabbits? Here. Mrs. Cito? Here. Mayor Mignona?
Here.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act. Do notice this meeting has been published by the clerk in both the Courier Post and the Inquirer newspaper. Also, a copy of the annual meeting notice has been posted on the bulletin board outside the Township Clerk's office. I'm obligated by order of the Fire Marshal to advise you that there is a no smoking policy in this building. Please take notice of the emergency exits to the rear of the room, and also there are exits behind Township Committee on either side. Finally, you should be aware that this meeting is being videotaped and will be shown on Channel 19 and 38 at a later date.
Thank you. Our first matter this evening is the public portion for resolutions only. If anyone from the public has any comments on any of our resolutions, please come forward.
Seeing no one, move to close public portion.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? The public portion for resolutions is closed. Our resolutions this evening are resolution number 31719 from our tax collector, 31819 from our tax assessor, 31919 approval of budget transfers number 3, 32019 approval to cancel appropriations, 32119 approval to cancel general and sewer capital improvement authorizations, number 32219 approving the hiring of Brendan Sachs to the position of firefighter in the Voorhees Township Fire Department, 32319 approving the hiring of Robert O'Brien to the position of firefighter in the Voorhees Township Fire Department, resolution number 324-19 approving the hiring of Joseph Wysocki to the position of firefighter in the Voorhees Township Fire Department, number 325-19 approving the hiring of Salvatore Del Palazzo to the position of firefighter in the Voorhees Township Fire Department, resolution number 326-19 approving the hiring of Michael Lewandowski to the position of firefighter in the Voorhees Township Fire Department, resolution number 327-19 approving the hiring of Samantha Young to the position of firefighter in the Voorhees Township Fire Department, 328-19 approving the hiring of Mark Mondial to the position of firefighter in the Voorhees Township Fire Department, resolution number 329-19 approving the hiring of Donovan Mihalik to the position of firefighter in the Voorhees Township Fire Department, and resolution number 330-19 approving the collective bargaining agreement between the Township of Voorhees and the Department of Public Works. Do I have a motion on those resolutions? So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none of those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. There is no need for an executive session this evening. Next is approval of the minutes from the meeting of December 16, 2019, and bills posted for December 30th, 2019. Do I have a motion for those?
December 23rd.
I'm sorry, December 20. Mine says 30.
That's the 23rd.
It was amended to the 23rd.
Okay.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I just have to abstain from the check for Whitmer Public Safety. It's number 20122.
Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Next is comments from our committee. Any comments from our committees?
Go Birds. I'm a
Just-
comment every time.
Mr. Mayor, I have a few words.
Sure.
I'll try to make it as brief as I can, but we'll send around a drink card and some food if you guys get thirsty or tired during the comments. But this is my last meeting, so I wanted to say a few words and some thank yous. My wife is late as usual, but it's all right. I'll thank her later. But as I look back on nearly a decade in public service, there are certainly way too many memories to recall, and I certainly wouldn't bore everybody here with all of them. But as I was preparing some of my remarks today, so many memories started to kind of come flooding back, as I'm sure it happens with you guys when you look back on your time here. Everything from moving into this beautiful new town hall in May of 2011, after that poor woman fell through the floor in the trailer in the other building. Are we still paying that workers' comp, Larry? But you know, that was certainly the first memory that I came back looking at what would become really this beautiful town hall, to helping to construct a beautiful new playground at Connolly Park, which is not so new anymore, but it was a really cool experience. We had a community build. Lowe's helped out with the tools and everything like that, and the whole community came together to help build that playground. To helping to host Governor Christie here for his one of his town halls right in the Macy's lobby. Countless meetings and luncheons with our vibrant senior citizens group, summer concerts in the park, Halloween's in the park, and attending our annual Veterans Wall of Honor ceremony each October, and of course, so many more. And I have to tell you that one of the greatest recollections I will always treasure is helping to welcome home troops back to Voorhees returning from theaters of conflict. And I think, Mayor Mignone, you could probably agree with me that I could say you've never felt goosebumps like the ones you get when you are waiting to present a returning soldier with a commendation plaque, and they're accompanied by a whole cadre of Warriors Watch riders and Operation Yellow Ribbons volunteers waving American flags. There's just nothing like that. And when I look back on a decade, it's hard to believe I started campaigning for my first term when my now 10-year-old son Zach was just a newborn, and our 10-year-old big golden doodle Teddy was just a little puppy biting our ankles. I wanted to get involved at that time after moving to Voorhees 3 years earlier because, quite frankly, I couldn't stand the taxes. I still can't. And felt like we needed a new voice on committee to bring some positive change, a new perspective, and of course some much needed checks and balances. As I've said previously, being an athlete, I've never been someone who was comfortable sitting on the sideline and observing. So I was eager to be a part of the solution as opposed to just complaining, which so many people do these days, especially on social media and elsewhere. I've truly enjoyed the honor of serving my community these last 9 years and truly hope that I've made a positive impact, which I hoped for in the beginning. Not every decision I've been charged with making during this time period has been easy, far from it. But I thought diligently about each vote and took a stand where appropriate, and certainly never abstained from any vote absent a business conflict reason. Prior to every vote, I would ask myself a very simple question. What is in the best interests of the Voorhees residents? Not what is in the best interest for me or any political future or for a political machine or what's best for a campaign contributor who might benefit from a certain vote or appointment. While I don't regret anything about my time on committee at all, there are certainly some areas in which objectives weren't achieved. I'm disappointed that we continue to overpay a number of professionals. I'm disappointed that committee members are still permitted to receive unlimited expenses on top of the $3,000 in expense reimbursements we already receive. I'm disappointed that despite having the mechanism to do so, we haven't garnered a single corporate naming rights sponsorship to bring in much needed additional revenue while marketing businesses in our community. And I'm disappointed in continuing to see so many shuttered businesses in Voorhees, businesses leaving as well as potential new businesses being rejected. The good news is these are areas that can easily be improved in the future if the residents and by extension our leaders continue to focus on those issues. We can do better, we can always do better. We should never feel satisfied, and that goes for obviously not just government but in our daily lives too. There's always more you can do, and there's always more you can do to strive to get better. But thankfully, there are way more things that I'm proud of when I look back on my 9 years, some of which include the fact that I've never missed a single meeting in my tenure. I've always felt that the voters elected me to do a job, and absent incapacitation, I'll be there to do it. I do the same thing at work, although they tell me to go home when I'm sick from these little maniacs that I live with. I'm proud that I've never voted for a single tax increase. In every budget I've voted on, there are always areas I felt that could have been addressed and before raising taxes on the already overburdened residents of Voorhees Township. That said, I'm proud that in the 9 years I've served, the rate of municipal tax increases went down 66% when compared to the previous 9 years before I was on committee, with the only tax decrease coming in the last 9 years. I'm proud to have initiated the push to end elected officials taking taxpayer-funded health benefits, which has saved our taxpayers in the area of $1 million to date. I'm proud to have introduced a solicitation ordinance with unanimous bipartisan support requiring door-to-door solicitors to register with the township before soliciting. This helps, obviously, public safety and also helps our residents enjoy the quiet enjoyment of their homes. I'm proud to have introduced a resolution with unanimous bipartisan support supporting Governor Christie's proposed fairness formula, providing state aid for education in a fair manner, which would have been a significant benefit to Voorhees. Unfortunately, that did not pass, didn't go anywhere, but that, as a lot of us know, that's a significant issue in Trenton, and it's a main driver of why property taxes are so high. Hopefully, that can be addressed by our state legislators at some point in the future. I'm proud to have introduced a naming rights sponsorship ordinance, which I just mentioned, with unanimous bipartisan support, which provides our township with the ability to obtain significant revenue from corporate sponsors in exchange for temporary naming rights on township property. I'm proud to have always stalwartly supported public safety initiatives for our residents, including the most important, in my estimation, the placement of 2 police officers in each of our schools, spearheaded by Chief Bordy. I'm also proud to have publicly carried myself in a manner in which my family, friends, and constituents can be proud of, and have always endeavored to treat those around me with respect and courtesy. I'm proud that I've never used my position for my own personal financial benefit or any other type of benefit. It's a shame that something like that isn't par for the course these days in government. I'm proud that I've made it my priority to be responsive to our residents by promptly responding to any and all emails and phone calls received during any given week, and being available for personal meetings when needed, not to mention keeping people informed through social media postings and such. As anyone else on our committee will tell you, so much of what we do is outside of votes and meetings. It involves working with residents outside to find solutions to everyday problems and sometimes very important problems. And quite frankly, that's most of what we do. So what you see up here is only a small portion of what these folks do. I'm also proud to have delivered the deciding vote to appoint a redeveloper that will hopefully bring this Voorhees Town Center back to relevancy again for our residents, and we'll see. I'm hoping that a year from now we can look and see a nice microbrew area instead of whatever's down there now. I don't know if there's still food there or not. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. And finally, I'm very proud to have been elected 3 times as a Republican in a Democrat town, maintaining my ideals, my integrity, where my opponent has always had nearly a 3-to-1 voter registration advantage and significant money advantage. This comes down to simply working harder than the other guy. It's something I learned in college football. Outwork the guy across from you. Having a great support team didn't hurt either. And an electorate who understood just how important checks and balances in local government really is. And on to the thank yous. Actually more than halfway there, so not too bad. That brings me to my thank yous, because without the support of so many, I wouldn't have been able to make any type of impact for 9 years. First and foremost, I want to thank my beautiful wife, Jamie, and my 4 kids, Mallory, Zach, Nicholas, and Brendan, for sharing me with the township all these years. In fact, as I said earlier, Zach has never known me not to be on committee, and it's like always around Monday night, I'm at work, and I'll get a FaceTime or a text or a call saying, "Dad, do you have a meeting?" Yes, "Dad, do you have a meeting tonight?" And just because that's all he really knows. And usually I say, yes, if we do. And so Zach, I'm happy to answer that the next time you ask, no, I do not have a meeting tonight. All right, so you can take that to the bank, unless of course at my other job. And I certainly look forward to spending more time with my kids, more time making my law firm profitable with my partners, more time volunteering, doing the travel soccer, and certainly reading with my twins. But if I have to read this book, I don't know if you know this, it's called Brown Bear, What Do You See? If I have to read that one more time, I'm going to throw it out the window. I cannot stay. He knows it. It's the worst. And it just, they seem to forget as soon as you read it and finish with it. Jamie, I want to thank you for all the support you've given me and our family over the past 9 years. Could never have done it without you. Being on committee and running for election is a major stressor, not only on the individual, but certainly on the spouse as well, because so much more falls on them, which isn't easy, especially in our household. Jamie, you are the rock and the glue of our family, and by far the strongest person I know. Can we give her a round of applause? Yeah. Does that win me any points later? Or? All right. I put this in the bank? All right. I want to thank my colleagues on committee, especially Harry Platt and Mayor Mignona, who I've had the pleasure of serving with for all 9 years of my tenure. You're both dedicated, smart, honest public servants, and just good all-around people who care deeply for our community. I've always found it easy to have open, frank conversations with both of you over the years about varied issues, and I'm proud to call you both my friends. Larry Spellman, our fearless township administrator. And I think the only other Republican up here, Larry, or you still registered and Trump scared you? He was at least. Larry's about the nicest person that you could ever meet. I think all of us would agree with that, and cares deeply about our township and our residents and getting back right away to people. It's been a pleasure serving with you, Larry, and from now on I'll root for Oregon State as one of my teams that I'll pull for. I know you're always pulling for them. You're not Howard Long, but Howard's son. You'll do fine for filling in for Howard. Howard's been our solicitor with whom I've served also 9 years. Despite going to our respective corners during campaign time, I can say that I respect Howard tremendously, and hopefully that feeling is mutual. Howard comes to the table with abundant legal acumen, as Chris does as well. And I've always felt confident the advice and counsel that you, Chris, and your dad have provided to us as a committee is well thought out, and we make better decisions because you guys give that advice. Dee Ober, our municipal clerk, is a tireless, knowledgeable municipal employee who's always there with guidance and an answer. She's been a huge asset and will continue to be a huge asset for our town, who we're lucky to have. And not surprising, part of that, I'm sure it's innate, certainly Dee, but part of it is because you learn from the best of the best. Jeanette Shelburne. Get choked up, but she's a wonderful person. Dean Simonera, our CFO, has all the answers when it comes to finance. I'm a lawyer, not a numbers guy at all, by far, but Dean, you have a knack for making the important numbers understandable. It was also fun playing hoops with you a few times, as well on those awful carpeted floors at the Crescent School. I think they've changed that hopefully since then, but just terrible, terrible. Dean's got a mean jump shot to go with those accounting skills. So Dean, you're a homegrown guy as well, and we're very, very lucky to have you. And I wish you all the best. Chief Bordy, another homegrown Voorhees talent. We're lucky to have a dedicated chief of police and fire chief. Lou cares deeply about his township and its residents. That's clear. Was just at a dinner the other night where Lou got a much-deserved award from the VBA, and then they probably didn't think about anyone else except for Lou, which is the right decision, and they made the right choice. Lou, I respect your vision for your departments, the thoughtfulness you put into those visions, and I agree with Mayor Mignona that you've developed what we feel is the finest police force in our state. There's no doubt about it. And on a personal note, another thank you for rescuing my son, Zachary, from the bathroom when he was 3 years old. And I was at work, and he locked himself into the bathroom, and, Twice, that's right. I'll be getting the bill next week, I think. But thank you, Lou. I mean, that just, again, that shows just kind of the care. I mean, it's we're not a tiny town, but you have that small town feel. So things like that really mean a whole heck of a lot. Thank you to all of our dedicated first responders, and we have a bunch here tonight. And congrats, guys, on your achievements and on joining the force. You have a great career ahead of you, and very, very good people to look after you. Thank you to police, fire, EMT. All of you do an incredible job. Very, very difficult work under pressure situations very few of us could imagine ourselves in, but you guys pull through, and you're there for us. It's been an honor to work with you all, and hopefully I'll see you guys. I'm not going anywhere, so hopefully I'll see you in the future. I want to thank our public works team who work tirelessly to make sure our leaves are clear, roads are plowed. They're up at ungodly hours to make sure our township services are taken care of, and I thank you all. Joe Laval, you have a hell of a crew. You've become a hell of a leader, and I greatly appreciate the job you're doing leading this team. I think that's probably one of the bigger inquiries we get is public works issues, and anytime I get one, I text Joe, responds within a couple minutes. I mean, he's really been really amazing. I also want to thank the rest of our township employees, everyone from the tax assessor, well, maybe not the tax assessor, a tax assessor, tax collector, zoning, planning, everybody, registrar. There's so many people to remember and thank. They do an incredible job. And that's why people want to move to Voorhees, in part because of the incredible job that our municipal employees do every day in making this place run. From a personal perspective, I might see him later, but I want to thank my good friend Brian McGovern, who ran all three of my campaigns. Brian believed in me, and I believed in Brian and his guidance, and together we were undefeated. I want to thank all three CCGOP chairmen, Rick DeMichelle, Judge Tom Booth of the New Jersey Superior Court, and Rich Ambrosino, for all of your support and guidance throughout the years. I want to thank the dedicated volunteers for the Voorhees GOP. I see Lisa, Carmine, and Barb here tonight. I want to thank you all for your support and your help throughout the years. You helped, you gave money, you most importantly gave your time. And you didn't do it for the promise of any benefit or job or other return, but because you care deeply about this town and its residents. And you shared the same concern that I shared, that you just wanted it run properly. And last but certainly not least, I want to thank the Voorhees voters, R, D, I don't care what you are, for your trust, confidence, and faith in electing me to office 3 times, and understanding how important checks and balances in local government is. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure serving you, and it has really been incredible getting to know so many of you. Because of the service, I've made friendships with many of you that I hope will last a lifetime. And with my friend Jackie Fetroy filling my seat, Voorhees can rest assured that the seat will remain in very good hands. Jackie is intelligent, creative, and devoted. I feel fully confident that she will fight fiercely for our residents and serve as an independent vision on committee who will not simply follow orders. And Jackie, if you ever have any questions, I think you're in South Carolina right now. Jackie, if you ever have any questions, you definitely have my number. Even though my term is over, I will be sure to remain available to all of my neighbors and Voorhees residents and will remain involved and vocal to ensure our local officials are accountable with taxpayer money and to the people who elected them. And I encourage all of you out there, if there is any issue that you're passionate about, don't stay on the sidelines, get in the game, stand up, and speak out. I thank you all again. Happy New Year.
Well, Mike, as I've told you before, as I've said, one of the reasons I got involved was for my kids and to help make Voorhees a better place. And I think that's probably one of the reasons you got involved. And you didn't just sit on the sideline, you stepped up and worked hard, and you gave our community nine years of public service. So thank you on behalf of the township. I hope you get to spend a lot more time with your lovely families. I don't know about coaching though, but but thank you. Thank you very much, and
Thank you, Mayor.
we appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
Mike, thank you for your years of service.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Miss it.
Next year, next year.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Our final portion is our public portion. Anyone from the public has any comments, please come forward.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Carmine Valentino, 7 Timberline Drive. A few comments, Director Committeeman Freeman, and for the record. Sunday, September 25th, 2016, I was outside on my front lawn, endlessly raking leaves, as I quickly found as a weekly fall tradition here in Voorhees, and certainly not one that I look forward to. In my peripheral, I see a man moving at a brisk pace. He's got a large folded over stack of papers. My head quickly recited all the reasons why I believe leasing solar panels to be a bad deal. It's a poor proposition for residents, and that predicting pacing utility costs for the next 30 years is just junk science. While I was prepared to deal with this type of unsolicited door-to-door exchange, as I have so many times before, to my surprise, the interaction went quite differently. This was the first time I had met Mike Freeman. Mike's message of keeping balance on the Voorhees Township Committee was one that I quickly had gotten behind. Mike had rather abruptly ended the conversation in an effort to make it to the next house as quickly as he could. As he left to catch my neighbor outside, who was also probably raking leaves, I recalled that this was the first time any politician had knocked on my door ever. In 30 seconds, Mike Freeman had earned my vote. Over the past few years, Mike and his family became true friends of ours. It didn't take too long to see how many revered Mike as their voice. Over the years, so many have recounted how they had met Mike in a similar way that I had. Mike's unwavering commitment to the residents of Voorhees was driven home by his tireless work ethic and dedication to reaching out and meeting face-to-face with thousands of voters during campaign season, which for Mike started in March, right?
Yeah, crazy.
Mike had always stayed true to his promise to keep Voorhees voters' interests first. This promise hasn't always offered him a path of least resistance, however, especially with his fellow committeemen and women. However, that never stopped Committeeman Freeman from taking difficult and often necessary stands over the years on issues that he believed in. Like so many others, Mike shared the news with me that he would not be seeking re-election in 2019. And while I was initially disappointed to lose such a selfless leader on our township committee, but as a new father, I'm duly reminded these days just how precious time really is, especially the time we spend with our family. For Mike, the decision to turn inward to his family and his career is one that few could argue. So Mike, I speak for thousands of voters, friends, and colleagues when I say we hope to see you holding public office again someday. If, however, this is the final stop for you in your political career, Mike, the citizens of Voorhees Township will forever be in your debt for the 9 years of selfless servitude leadership that you've provided to us all. So again, thanks, Committeeman Freeman. My family and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thanks, Carmine.
Thanks, guys.
Anyone else? Seeing no one else, move to close public portion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public portion is closed, and we are adjourned. Good evening.
Big Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Go birds.